in your experience, or what's your thoughts? Have you thought about this? That I think, my opinion, Christchurch kids might be struggling a little bit more than other kids, because when it comes to executive function, you can be impacted by anxiety and trauma, and kids that are approaching that like 13-year mark now might have gone through the earthquake, they might have gone through another earthquake, they might have been around some other things, and now we're in a recession, and parents can't, we might have a smaller house than you used to have 10 years ago. So have you seen that might be something that you're starting to see in your experience?
We've certainly seen a rise in anxiety.
Specifically Canterbury.
At the health school, we've definitely seen that. The impact from the earthquakes and from the mosque shootings. And then from COVID now. So, yes, the earthquakes definitely. There was a research studies done around that. I remember somebody saying to me at the time that the 2-year-olds were, at the time of the earthquakes, would be the ones with the largest impact. So they're our year 11s at the moment.
Yes.
That's interesting.
So as we talk about preparing for interviews and jobs and high school, you got to remember that those kids might be carrying trauma and anxiety that's impacting all of this as well.
Straight after the earthquakes, the New Zealand Red Cross ploughed a lot of money into different schools, and to support the kids with that kind of flexibility, that emotional regulation, those areas of executive dysfunction that they were perhaps struggling with as a result of the earthquakes. And we did quite a lot of work in schools, running school groups all around those skills that they were struggling with, because they recognised that was an area of difficulty and an area of need.
There's even the babies in utero at the time too were impacted. So,
yes, for sure.
Like you say,
That's
they're our 13-year-olds coming through now.
And what we see in our service now is a lot more complexity coming through with children with quite diverse needs, and that are impacting their learning and behaviour in the classroom. So that's one thing that we've noticed over that time, actually. It's quite interesting.
Not just all the trauma.
With that's been more understanding and more awareness of things over the last few years as well. So there's more kids that are kind of getting diagnoses. There's more kids that are kind of being recognised as needing support.
Not just all the trauma stuff, but all the, as I was saying, like the economic crisis and stuff now. I remember my dad, when I moved here, he was like, why are you in someone's backyard? Because we have a rear section, and my son doesn't have the big yard I had when I was a kid, and I would just after school spend 3 hours out there just playing. Now they might not have the space, they can't get home and just unwind because they don't have their own room because they have to share. There's a lot of factors now that can impact this.